As a young man who was diagnosed with clinical depression at the age of 21 years old, I think, I was left hopeless. I was told that I had a chemical imbalance in my brain and that I was gonna have to learn to live like this, feeling how I did. When the fact was, I didn't have clinical depression. I didn't have a chemical imbalance in my brain. I just had terrible habits, which made me absolutely miserable. But I didn't realize what they were and why they were making me miserable. And my doctors were probably too busy to give me this life lesson. So they very quickly just labeled me, gave me some medication to make me feel better, and then sent me on my merry way. This is where self-improvement comes in. The idea that you are a project and you have to improve upon yourself. I didn't know this existed. If you're watching this video, you're either brand new to self-improvement, welcome, or you're on self-improvement already, but I can almost guarantee you that there's certain vices and certain mindsets which are still holding you back from becoming your very best self. I'm gonna talk about some of those things in this video. And disclaimer, I actually hope this video makes you a little bit uncomfortable. I hope I kind of almost piss you off, because that probably means I'm saying the right things. But please do remember that I am saying these things out of love for you. I want you to get better. I want you to be a better version of yourself. And I want you to regain control of your mind. I want you to stop worshipping these vices and these beliefs because they don't serve you. The modern world has hijacked your brain. Let's reclaim it together. The first part of your I have clinical depression starter pack is TV shows and anime. Now I'm coming in very hot here. I'm gonna immediately piss off the anime enthusiasts, which are historically the most tribalistic and quick to defend sort of people that you can find in the space. But hear me out, okay? I'm not just an anime hater, okay? I don't just hate anime because, like, you know, it's a gay cartoon or like whatever, right? You can see actually in the background I have a poster which is Berserk, and that's actually such a fucking awesome anime, and it's my favorite show of all time. So please don't just click away immediately, like at least hear me out. I'm not just mindlessly hating anime because it's fun to annoy you, which is why actually I included also conventional TV shows in this starter pack, okay? TV shows and anime are probably the biggest time sink you have in terms of vices. To sit down and watch a TV show is usually like around 50 hours, sometimes less, sometimes more. But if you think about that, that is an extraordinary amount of time, okay? And not only that, but also the time that your subconscious brain is thinking about the TV show, what happens next. There's a reason why all of the episodes usually end on a cliffhanger, and it's because like they're anticipating you going on to the next episode. And even if you fall asleep and wake up the next day, you're probably still somewhat hijacked by that. So you wanna wake up and do your work, you're probably still thinking like, what the fuck happened in the last episode of Attack on Titan? And it's gonna be that much harder to get into a competitive level of flow with your work. Now you might have noticed that I didn't include films in this, and that's because when you watch a film, sure, it's, you know, a 1 hour and a half, 2 hour time sink, but it's over. There's no more extra like brain hijacking or anything like that. It's literally just like you've done all your work for the week, you want to chill out and watch an inspiring film, an anime film as well. You can watch an anime film, that's fine. Cool, man. Why not? Sometimes I like to do that. The issue specifically I have with TV shows and anime is the amount of time that it literally just takes from you. I have friends who say to me like, oh, Sam, have you seen, oh, bro, you've really got to watch it. Oh, bro, this show's fucking insane. Whoa. And all I can think about is like, yeah, that's gonna like eat away at my subconscious mind for like the month that I'm watching it. Bye-bye 52 hours, bye-bye. That's why I think TV shows and anime are bad. They are objectively bad for your self-improvement, in my opinion, and you should aim to cut them out. Replace them with a film. If you want to sit down, relax, watch a film, especially if it's with someone else. I like watching a film every week or 2 weeks with my girlfriend. It's quite nice. That's cool, man. But just don't allow yourself to get invested into TV shows and stuff, because it's just a black hole for your time. It's just your time and your subconscious energy is just sapped. Gone. Here's a few limiting beliefs you might have. But Sam, my TV shows and anime are inspiring. Cool, just watch films then, man. You can be inspired by media, that's totally fine. Just watch films. But Sam, if I quit watching the shows, then I'll be bored. Good, that's what you want. When was the last time you genuinely felt bored and you just allowed yourself to feel bored without like looking at your phone or watching a show or anything? Like, when was the last time? I'm quite a conscious person at this point, and I can't remember the last time I was bored myself. yourself. Allow yourself to be bored. Boredom is a commodity in the modern world. And you'll find that when you're bored, you'll start to generate ideas for how you should spend your time in a more productive manner. But Sam, all of my friends watch a TV show. If your friendship relies solely on the fact that you both watch the same TV show together, that's not much of a friendship at all. But Sam, it's how I relax, man. God, can't you just let me fucking relax for once in my fucking life? Find a way to relax which doesn't cause as much destruction in your life. Films will allow you to relax, and they're also not massive black holes for your time as well. The second part of your I have clinical depression starter kit is porn. Think of this, okay? Young men are literally wanking upwards of 7 times a day. I knew a guy, and by the way, this guy, by all metrics, you could say, had all of the potential to just be a Chad. Like, he was handsome, he was jacked, he was smart, yet he played League of Legends for like 8 hours a day and wanked 7 times a day when I met him. That is insane. That is how powerful porn is. In a very negative way. It's also just indoctrination into like cooking. Like, it turns you into a cook. You're sat there in your dark room, mouth breathing, touching yourself, watching a video of another man, taking what you want, having sex with the girl who you want to be having sex with. I know it seems like a bit of a stretch, but I promise you it's not that much of a stretch to believe that that is fucking up your subconscious brain, like, really badly. On top of that, porn's gonna make you insanely socially awkward around girls because you're gonna start seeing them as like these weird sex objects as they're often depicted in porn. And for that reason, it completely destroys your relationship with women. And you are completely overcome with lust 24 hours of the day. Like, you're probably constantly thinking about, I need to touch it, I need to touch it. And what this leads to is complete and utter loneliness and the inability to attract good women into your life. On top of that as well, you also run the risk of weirdly subconsciously wiring your brain to believe that you're already successful. Like, when you're watching porn, you're imagining yourself having sex with this woman, even though Johnny Sins is. In your head, if you're banging this many beautiful, stunning women in the exact ways that you want to as well, you've already won life. Like, you've beat it, mate, you know? So you're gonna struggle severely with finding the motivation to actually start to do shit with your life. And if you're not in a position where you have completed life, that's very problematic. You need the reward at the end of the journey to make the journey worth it, to even begin the journey. You might be stuck in inaction because your brain's convinced that you're a fucking giga chad and you're banging 10 supermodels a day. Feeling sad and feeling lonely are all signals from your brain to start to take action. Wanking and watching porn quenches those signals, but doesn't actually move you forward. Usually if you're feeling lonely and sad, you would, I don't know, go outside, make some new friends. If you're not good enough to make friends, then you would make yourself good enough to make friends. So on and so forth. You would develop yourself towards fulfilling that need of yours. But when you wank, you trick yourself into believing you've done that, but you haven't. So when the signals come again next time, it's just gonna get stronger and stronger until you reach rock bottom. Here's some limiting beliefs that you might have around quitting porn. My urge to wank is far too powerful, Sam. I cannot help it. I'm a high T male and I need to come. It's funny. I did a 5-day fast and I was fucking starving. Honestly, sometimes my hunger hormone was telling me, you need to fucking eat. Oh my God, you need to eat, you need to eat. And I've never done this before, but like, I just didn't eat and nothing happened. Nothing bad happened. I just continued to live my day like normal, completely normal. It's the exact same with feeling horny. The next time you feel horny, just remember, your brain is signaling to you, I wanna fuck, I wanna fuck. You don't have to fuck. You don't have to touch your cock. You can just genuinely acknowledge the fact, my cock is hard right now. My cock wants me to touch it. That's funny. And then just continue your day anyway, without touching it. You don't have to touch your cock every time your brain signals to you, you want to touch your cock. It's the exact same shit with me now I'm in a relationship. If every time my brain signaled to me, go have sex with your girlfriend, go have sex with your girl, I'd get nothing done. I'd get nothing done, okay? So you do need to have a level of self-control, and that does carry on over into your relationships as well. Because if I spent all of my day fucking, I'd get no work done. We'd become super depolarized. It'd be a terrible relationship. Same with porn. Same with touching your cock. Yeah, but quitting porn won't make a difference, Sam. Fine. You know better than 99.9% of all of the successful guys that you look up to. When I think Henry Cavill and Ryan Gosling, I think, yeah, those are two guys who definitely touch their cocks to porn. They definitely wank. Who are you fooling, man? You're just fooling yourself. Yeah, but Sam, I don't have the willpower to quit. If you believe that to be the case, then you will genuinely manifest that into reality. Because essentially what you're doing is you're creating a lever for yourself that you can pull, which allows you to fuck up. So when things get hard, literally, you can just wank and then say, oh, well, yeah, I knew I didn't have the willpower to do it. If you just said to yourself with conviction right now, I am going to stop watching porn. Sure, you might still slip up, but when you slip up, it will actually be a hit to your ego and your self-esteem. And that's very powerful because there's only so many hits to your ego and self-esteem that you're going to allow before you decide, fuck this, I'm going to stop being a loser. I'm going to stop watching porn. And that's what you need. Don't give yourself an out. The third thing on our I have clinical depression starter pack is weed. I have never, not once, in my entire life, met someone who smokes weed on a regular basis and has all areas of their life dialed in. They're just a well-rounded guy. Not fucking once. I've only met lazy, complacent individuals. Have you completed life? Then why are you smoking weed? Does smoking weed really bring your best, most productive self out? Are all your friends that you smoke weed with, are they productive? Are they the types of people who have reached the levels of success which you want to reach as well? Weed blows my mind because it is the most obviously destructive thing that people do, and they still do it. But then people will be like, well, Sam, Snoop Dogg smokes weed. Yeah, bro. Snoop Dogg smokes weed. All Snoop Dogg does is walk into a studio and mumble into a microphone. He mumbles some words that some other dude made, and then his talented producer puts it all together and makes a hit song. If Snoop Dogg tried to do much of anything else outside of those parameters, I don't think he would be anywhere close to being competitive, okay? So yeah, if you want to be like Snoop Dogg, sure, go ahead. But what a fucking ridiculous argument that is. People wake up and immediately smoke weed and then wonder why they don't move forward in their lives. I've never dealt with a weed addiction. I don't know if there's withdrawal symptoms. What I would probably say is that when you stop smoking weed after you've been smoking it for so long, you probably become a lot more conscious of what your inadequacies are, and that's probably very painful. But that's something similar which I had to go through when I quit all of my video games. I was very addicted to video games. I'd play them like 12 hours a day. I wouldn't even brush my teeth. So it was very painful when I quit, but what I would say to that is, it's necessary. You have to do it. Here's some limiting beliefs for weed. But Sam, I'm a high-performing smoker. No, you are not. You might be slightly less retarded than average people who smoke weed, but you are still retarded. Weed helps me get creative, bro. You can also be just as creative when you're not smoking weed. But Sam, I'm bulking, and the munchies that I get allow me to eat more food. Not worth it, bro. But Sam, this is just how I relax after a hard day of work, man. Okay, but smoking weed has lasting effects. If you smoke a joint the night before, you're gonna wake up with way less mental clarity, you're gonna feel groggy, and not only that, it fucks up your sleep, weed does. A lot of people like to think, yeah bro, like smoking weed to get to sleep, so awesome. No, it actually fucks up the deep sleep you get and the REM sleep you get. You might fall asleep quickly, but it's shallow sleep. Weed actually fucks up your sleep. It does not make it better, so that's bullshit. Number 4, social media addiction. Boys, I hate to admit it, but Mr. Zuck has us all by the fucking balls. Holy shit. How often do you grab your phone, like completely AFK, and just open up an app and start AFK scrolling or checking out people's stories who you don't give a shit about? It's crazy. And if you're not aware of how often you do that, I suggest you start to try and become conscious of that, because that's step 1, really. you need to catch yourself in the act and just like feel a sense of disgust. Like, why the fuck am I on Instagram right now? Oh my God, this is disgusting. And it helps to have people around you who can call you out like that. But what do you get from these apps? Okay, so you open it, you see some dickhead in Dubai. Oh, Rolex, oh, look at me, I have a fucking Lamborghini, oh yeah bro, buy my course. Gay. Every second that you're spending looking at that is time that you're not spending taking action. Not only that, you're going to constantly be bombarded by new ideas, so you're going to be very susceptible to shiny object syndrome and information overload. And this is going to lead you to a complete lack of any sort of direction and purpose in your life, because all the time you're pivoting. Oh, that guy's successful doing e-com, I'm going to do e-com. Oh, actually, oh fuck, I don't know, man, like this guy's got a copywriting thing and is doing FOMO marketing posts to fucking get me to buy a shit. It's just fucking, oh, it's too much. Instagram has hijacked your brain, and it is creating and framing your subconscious mind. And quite often than not, it uses your ungodly desires to hook you in. Lust, greed, so on and so forth. Quite frankly, it is impossible for you to be competitive at anything that you try to do in your life if you do not have control of your brain. Quite frankly as well, the app is shallow. Every time I open the app, I always just wonder to myself, what am I doing here? What am I gaining from this? I'm just becoming more and more and more conscious of that as time goes on. I hope you can get to that point as well. Boys, I'm not saying you shouldn't use Instagram. I'm saying that you should use it consciously. Actually consciously use the app. Don't just open it because you're bored and this is what you've been programmed to do. You're seeking that dopamine hit. Open the app with a purpose. Here's some limiting beliefs. But Sam, I need it for business. Okay, cool. Use it for business then. Mute stories for people you don't give a fuck about, which is like 95% of the people you follow probably. Unfollow thirst traps, women who post hoe pics, okay? You don't want that. And have a time allowance. Every time I open my Instagram, I have an app which makes me do a mindfulness breath work, and then it makes me choose how long I want to use the app for. And then once that time's up, it closes the app, which stops me from just using it mindlessly. So I'll think, I need to post on my story for the sake of my personal brand, and so that people know what I'm up to, who care about me. So I'll use it for 10 minutes while I post this stuff, and then the app closes. That's how you use Instagram. But Sam, I need to keep up with the memes. Okay. Keep up with the meme culture, bro. Just don't expect to be competitive in anything you do, because you chose to be up to date with the latest Doge meme rather than having control over your own mind. But Sam, I need to keep up with the news. Funnily enough, whatever's actually important in your life is going to just make its way to you anyway, because naturally people around you are going to be speaking about it. Like, for example, if we were on the brink of World War III, you'd probably hear some rumblings going on from the people around you, right? You don't actually need to watch the fucking news. You don't actually need to be up to date, because most of it is just fear-mongering, bullshit, indoctrination material. Okay, so don't worry about that. And funnily enough, it's actually the same with memes. Like, I don't ever consume memes, but somehow I remain up to date with memes because people around me are like, oh yeah, Sam, this reminds me of that meme, man. Oh, I gotta show you this meme. And then they just show me the meme. It's like, yeah, I'm up to date. I know. So, but Sam, I need to keep up with my friends, otherwise they won't like me anymore. This is a symptom of the fact that you've not yet understood the transition from like school level friendship versus adulthood masculine friendship. Adult masculine friendship doesn't require you to constantly check in on each other and like, oh hey man, how are you, man? It's actually one of my pet peeves when someone messages me like, oh hey man, how's things your end? Just fuck off. I don't want a small talk. I don't like small talk. The type of friends I have now, we couldn't see each other for like 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, but the next time we'd see each other, it's like we were never apart. It's just the journey of masculine development. You have to go onto your own path, and sometimes your path doesn't align with your friends at this current moment, and that's totally fine. You don't have to be constantly in each other's ears talking all the time, gossiping. Number 5, regular partying. Let me ask you this. What the fuck are you celebrating? Unless you're somehow getting a massive win in your personal life or your business every week, while being a university student, you have no reason to be partying. Because honestly, there is absolutely nothing for you there anyway. Think of the last time that you went out to a party, if you have been to a party. Think of the lasting fulfillment that that experience has given you. Yeah, I don't have any. None. It was fun. But beyond that, doesn't serve me that well, man. It doesn't actually mean that much. Yet whenever I hear my friends are going out, I still get this sense of FOMO, like, oh fuck man, I don't want to miss out, maybe I should go out. The reality is, when you take a step back, you realize how little this shit means to you. And on top of that, it's like just, you know, habit stacking, like the idea that if you already have a well-established habit, you can stack another habit on top of that habit to make doing that new habit a lot easier. So for example, you might have the habit stacked that when you sit down to eat food, you watch a productive YouTube video. Going out partying is like a negative habit stack. You stack casual sex, drugs, copious amounts of alcohol, hanging out in low quality environments with low quality people. It's like a complete and utter anti-self-improvement cocktail. Now guys, there is a time and place for partying, and I mentioned before, it's for celebrating. You have something to celebrate. I'm not against partying. I like going out and having a dance. I like having a drink sometimes even. But if you're not celebrating anything, why are you partying? Are you just coping with the inadequacies and the things that you're not quite happy with in your life? Perhaps. And quite frankly, even if you are like celebrating, like you have momentum in your business, you're getting wins, you've made money. More often than not, from what I've seen, is when people start to win in their business, that gives them so much fulfillment that they don't even want to stop and go out to party and lose that momentum, which entirely encapsulates my point as to why partying is bad. It fucking destroys your momentum. Here's a few limiting beliefs. But Sam, I need to get good with women. You need to get good with drunken women. You want to be able to be socially slick while under the influence of alcohol. Bro, I hate to break it to you, but anyone can do that. Anyone. Seriously, like a fucking retard could do that. Is that really the hill you want to die on? Is that what you want to sacrifice your long-term fulfillment for? That doesn't make any sense, bro. Yeah, well, Sam, you're only young once, man. Just fucking live a little, man. Correct. You are young only once, so you should use it to build up a long-term fulfilling life for you. And going out to party in clubs is anti-everything. You lose sleep, it's anti-fitness, it's anti-business, it's anti-mental health, anti-mental clarity, it's anti-social. Even though people like to say it's very social, man. You're hanging around a bunch of losers most of the time, doing ketamine in bathrooms. It's bad. It's really bad. But Sam, I don't want to lose all my friends if I stop going to parties. Once again, man, if your friendship hinges on the sharing of any of these vices, it's not good friendship. Do you really want the extent of your friendship to be sharing ketamine in the same bathroom stall as each other, or having some funny moments of you both being retarded while drunk and throwing up in the street or something? Haha, yes, very funny. It's just very shallow, man. Friendships can be so much more than that. But Sam, if I don't go to pies, people will think I'm boring. Yes. Completely ordinary people will think you're boring. However, the reason why you're on this channel is because you want to be extraordinary. You want better results than average, because frankly, average isn't cutting it anymore, man. So you shouldn't really care all that much about the opinion of what most other people do, because they're on a different life path to you typically, man. Number 6 is food. I mentioned earlier that I did a 5-day fast. Something that 5-day fast did for me was that I realized just how by the balls we all are by sugar. Like, if you're on day 4 of not eating a single fucking thing and you walk around town, you will very much so notice how everything is geared towards sugar. Sugar over here! No! Sugar over here! Yeah, get your sugar here! It's crazy. We're all completely addicted to sugar, I'm convinced of it. I used to eat really, really bad, terrible processed food, like microwave pizza, microwave macaroni cheese. My relationship with food was terrible, and my health, my gut microbiome, my fitness journey all suffered because of it. I didn't realize that food is genuinely fuel for your body. It's not just a thing which you should like eat and enjoy. It should have a lasting effect as to how well you feel afterwards, mentally and physically. And if you eat shitty processed food, your brain is gonna suffer, your physicality is gonna suffer, compared to if you made healthier, better decisions, not based around what you want want in the moment, the taste on your tongue. A lot of people also turn to food when they're feeling sad. They start binge eating. That's also just another defense mechanism, which we need to solve together. Here's a few limiting beliefs that you might have about food. But Sam, healthy food is expensive. You're right, healthy food can be expensive, but eggs are like the most nutrient-dense, incredible superfood you could ever eat, and they are ridiculously cheap. You can absolutely get healthy food for cheap, man. You can. I don't have time to prepare healthy meals, Sam. I don't have time to fuel my body with what it needs to function at a high level. Okay, then where are your priorities at, man? What's more important than functioning at a high competitive level? What is more important than that? I don't understand. I can't think of really anything. Your priorities are all messed up, man. But Sam, my family all eat unhealthy food. Obviously, the easy answer would be to just not expose yourself to food. But I do understand that a lot of people have families where they have like cupboards just full of terrible food, freezers full of ice cream. And to that I'd say, you have a harder time ahead of you, man. It's gonna be a bit more difficult, but you can build that discipline. And it comes from literally just making promises to yourself and keeping the promises. That's what your self-esteem is based off. We all want a good self-esteem. We wanna look at ourselves in the mirror and be happy. And that literally comes from just making small or large promises to ourselves and keeping those promises. And that's what you need to do. This also builds discipline. So look at it on the bright side. It might be harder for you now, but you're going to build a fantastic level of discipline from doing it this way. But Sam, healthy food tastes bad. No, it doesn't. Sometimes it does, but you can get really fucking tasty healthy food actually. Most of the time, it's just that you don't know what you should eat because your taste buds have just been hijacked by this highly processed garbage food. And this is going to take some time to undo. You need to taper off your shitty food from your diet and start to expose yourself to much more healthier food, and you'll find that it genuinely starts to taste way better as time goes on. And the 7th part of your clinical depression starter kit is video games. I have an incredibly strong stance on video games because I went to the absolute very depths of the trenches when it comes to video games. I saw how destructive video games can be. The biggest problem with video games is that they decay you at such a slow rate that most people don't actually realize how detrimental it is to them. The fact that it's sapping your competitive nature as a man. The fact that the games are hard designed to fuck with your brain and to give you these senses of like completion. And the fact that it's near enough impossible to do anything productive in the real world when your brain is competing with the idea of either doing the hard thing or playing the video game. I genuinely think video games are poisonous, and it's a very slow and painful spiritual and mental death. You can check out this video on my channel or there for more on why video games are so terrible. A few limiting beliefs. Sam, I feel you, but I just feel too much resistance to quit them. That's good, man. I'm glad that you understand that step 0, but you need to understand that quitting any of these vices really isn't gonna be like a day and night process. It's not gonna be like you click your fingers and you're not doing that shit anymore. You do need to taper off them slowly. It took me 9 months of eventually tapering off my video games to stop them overall. And even for an entire year after that point, I continued watching gaming content on YouTube so I would kind of get my fix weirdly until I stopped doing that. So it is a slow tapering process, but the fact that you're willing to admit that it's not a good use of your time is the start point, and you should be very glad you have that mentality because a lot of people, they're not willing to admit that their vice doesn't actually work for them. But Sam, I'm gonna make money playing video games. Unlikely. And I'm not saying unlikely so you can have this weird sense of like, oh, well, yeah, whatever, Sam, I'll prove you wrong, bro. No, like genuinely unlikely. And to be honest with you, even if you do manage it, streamers and esports players, generally speaking, are like some of the most miserable, egotistical losers on planet Earth. I don't know why you would aspire to be like that. But Sam, my identity and my self-worth is tied to my video game progress. This is painful as fuck, and I had this issue as well. But if I'm being honest with you, your rank, your World of Warcraft character, it doesn't bring you any status in the real world, which is where it matters. You might feel like the top don when you're playing your video games, but you're watching this video because you want to feel more like the top don in the real world. So it's a decision that you have to make, really. Do you want to continue pumping thousands upon thousands of hours into your video game of choice, World of Warcraft, Valorant, Overwatch, League of Legends and have a sense of feeling somewhat important in those games in a really sad and almost autistic way? Or would you rather just stop while you're ahead now, cut your losses, and start building something in real life which genuinely makes you an important person, which attracts great people into your life, women, money, you can give back to your family. You can live a vibrant, fulfilling life. That is a choice that you need to make. It is one or the other. But Sam, it's harder in the real world to make progress. Of course, you wouldn't want it if it wasn't hard. The fact that it's hard is what makes it so fucking valuable. It's a status symbol. If everyone could get a six-pack by the click of the fingers, no one would care about six-packs. It's the fact that it's hard that gives it value. Anything worth fighting for is going to be hard. But honestly, you stand a 0% chance of making any sort of progress if you continue to play video games. And to be honest, it's never been easier than now to actually make a name for yourself in the real world, considering most people have their balls in the vice of all of their addictions as we speak. But Sam, Henry Cavill plays World of Warcraft. Elon Musk plays Skyrim. I absolutely highly doubt that. I absolutely refuse to believe that a man like Elon Musk, as busy as he is, plays fucking Skyrim. More likely than not, this is a PR stunt. Whoa, Elon plays Skyrim? That's such an epic Chungus moment. He's just like us for real, man. We love Elon Musk. And even if he does play Skyrim, okay, that is what we call an anomaly. It is a result that doesn't make any fucking sense according to the remaining correlating data, okay? So you do a scientific experiment and 99.9% of the results come back that figure 1 is the correct pathway forward, for example, but you've got 0.01% where figure 2 worked out for them. You go for figure 2. That makes so much sense, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. So that is a fucking ridiculous argument. Boys, that is your I have clinical depression starter kit. And that is why you need to be absolutely ruthless with your time and ruthlessly stomp out all of these bad habits, because if you want to reach the next evolution of yourself, you need new inputs. You need to progressively overload sacrifice. Which one of these is your biggest issue? Let me know in the comments, boys. Here is Discord message of the day. And if you want to learn how to make money online from the comfort of your bedroom or traveling the world with your laptop, I teach over 500 of my students how to do exactly that. And as you can see on the screen here, we're getting excellent results inside of my academy. You could be next. I hope this video is helpful, boys. Take care.